You better say your prayers, you flea-bitten varmint. I'm gonna blow you to smithereens.
You do that and I'll kill you.
Welcome to another edition of Bullshit with Bob, right here on Brutiful Metal Radio. And as always, it's full of technical glitches, and it shows how DIY we are. But welcome to the show. I've got the guys from Seconds to Impact via phone live with me here in the studio. What's happening, guys? And you guys, you said you guys hail out of New Jersey, right?
Yes, New Jersey, Maywood.
So we've got, let's see, we've got Rich, Tim, Joe, Tom, and Alexander on the phone.
Sort of. We actually have an announcement to make on that level. There has been a few changes. Joe's not here. Joe couldn't make it. But Tom is no longer our drummer. We have a new guy that's top notch. His name is Rich. You want to say hi, Rich? Hey, hi, Rich.
Oh, right on. Well, you know, bass players, man, they'll be late for their own funeral.
Yeah, well, he drives a little bit, and he couldn't make it during the week. No problem. And
we also added another force to the band. We added a female singer. Her name is Daphne.
Oh, right on.
How you doing? Proving she's from Jersey. And Alex is just Alex. He's loud. Yes. Hey, man.
Hey, you know, like I told you guys before we went live, loud, obnoxious, cuss, it's all good.
Why the fuck would we ever cuss?
We don't fucking curse.
Not us. It's for fucking.
Now, you guys recently released a CD, correct?
I'm sorry, dude. We're just excited, man. We're excited to be on the Bullshit with Bob show, so we're a little giddy. What was that?
I said, you guys just dropped a CD?
Yeah, yep. Bring the Night On. It's available on iTunes. It's also streaming on Spotify. And iTunes, it's worldwide, international.
Oh,
Every iTunes on the planet Earth has that out. And you can also buy it on ReverbNation.com/Seconds to Impact. And most download sites, most download sites have it. That's a simple message to buy it. You can also buy it by coming to one of our live shows.
Well, you heard it there.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can pick up.
Get some lap dances.
Now I've got three of you guys' tunes that we'll play later on in the show. I've got Revelation Breakthrough, Wake Up, and Cleo. And like I said, we'll play those later on in the show.
Okay, cool.
But so how did you guys and gal all get together to create Seconds to Impact?
It's the magic of Craigslist.
Yeah. I don't want to mention that. It's good. Rich was looking for projects, and I didn't have he was looking for a lead guitar player, I was looking for a band, and he had a halfway poetry project. I came down, he clicked, then the project fell apart, then me and Rich spent about a year and change, 25 drummers, and additional singers, and half a dozen bass players, until we slowly solidified and have what you hear now.
And how did you come about the name Seconds to Impact?
I actually think one of our former singers had that name.
She came up with that idea.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, the only good thing that came about from her, exactly.
Now, what kind of response have you guys been getting at shows? Pretty positive?
You're really positive, man. So it's interesting. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the album, so it's a mix of, like, I don't know, old is really an appropriate word. It's more of a mix of what they consider classic rock and modern metal, and it's been getting a really good response. People come to shows, people buying downloads off the website. Again, that's iTunes or ReverbNation.com/Seconds to Impact. Just saying. really good review. Shirt Rank Audio. So yeah, people are addicted, man. We're thankful for that. Yeah. Pennsylvania Station. Pennsylvania Station, 95, 98 underground. Right. Playing us, and you guys.
Now, what is the songwriting process like with you guys? Is there one main songwriter, or do all of you collaborate on a song at the same time?
It's like crockpot.
Yeah, we just start playing, and whatever comes up, then we add the lyrics to it.
Sometimes we have old songs left over. Rich writes something, I ignore it, play my own thing to it. And
yeah, we sometimes we butcher stuff up. We'll take something from one and something from another, and we come up with something else.
It melds up organically, so it's not a songwriting process like you would learn in a music school or something like that. It's just we do what we do, and it's no pesticides. No pesticides, chemtrails, gluten-free. Yeah. Gluten-free, gluten-free. No, it's not gluten-free. Yeah, but it's just really cool, man. We take it step by step, pull together pretty quick, and then we just take it from there. You know, I have some lyrics from other things that I'm gonna put some vocal melody and then vocal ideas, and then mix that with Ken and Rich's things, and then join the band, and it just happened in a short time.
You know, I had an opportunity to sell it up for national acts and stuff also.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
So went over for open up for right before Dino Disciples, but then Hurricane Sandy came and annihilated the venue. It's still not an opera. And we also played with Mark Rizzo back in November, right after Thanksgiving. It was all around this year.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you can tell.
Talking about Mark Rizzo, we've got Soulfly's going to be coming through here. When is that? I think like March 22nd down in Louisiana. Man, I can't wait to go catch that show.
I was really surprised how good he was. When he played after us, my jaw hit the floor. He's a very talented player.
Oh, the dude's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He's an absolute beast. He is incredible.
Yeah.
When he came up to us and he complimented us on our set.
Yeah, he's just a really slow guy, you know, real down to earth. None of that ego bullshit, you know. That's our job. Yeah, that's our job. But I learned all of his guitar licks from the Guitar World band.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. He was plus for Guitar World. I'll be sending you a bill later. That's what happens when you let a thing play guitar.
Now, talk to me a little bit about your experience in the studio. Was it pretty smooth? Did everything go right, or was there any kind of problems?
Well, we had some problems, but it went smooth because we rehearsed very solidly. We played everything once or through, everything isolated but live. You know, I worry about the details and mixing later. And we hit everything in one or two takes. And I think one of our problems is our original bass player. He insisted on running in the isolation room instead of running direct, which screwed Alex out performing live with us, so he had to go do his takes afterwards and threw off certain things because Alex was so used to playing live, not recording.
Right.
But it was pretty straightforward. And we have the best engineer knowing in Max.
Max Casanova.
Clear Cut Recording Studios, Largo, New Jersey. Another plug. Yeah, he's one of those guys who wants to get what you want, not doesn't have his own opinion. You know, he loves music and he's fun to hang out with.
Now,
which is better than the whole things I've had in the past. He's got long hair.
I've got Deanna, Vixen in the chat room, and she wanted me to say to Tim, hello.
Hey, what's going on?
There you go, Vix. You got a hello back. Now, we will take questions from the chat room later on. You said the new drummer is Rich?
Yeah, we got two Riches.
Okay, Rich, how is it being the new guy in the bunch? They treating you right?
Yeah, things are sounding pretty good. It's interesting because everybody's got a similar take on getting the groove down, but a little bit different background on influences and whatnot. And I've done some rock in the past. jazz, but not necessarily as heavy as this or whatnot. So it's a chance for me to stretch my legs and get outside my comfort zone. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, right on. What's some of your influence, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, all over the charts. I was a music major several years back in college, and I toured professionally after that playing, and I did everything from big band jazz to R&B to modern country. I was sort of all over the place.
Oh, wow.
I would say I was more of a jazz and funk player than a heavy metal player.
You know, it always seems like, you know, I'm a musician myself, and when you dabble in other, you know, genres of music like that, it broadens your musical view.
Absolutely.
You know, it gives you it gives you different stuff to look at, you know, musically. If you want to add something to a song that, you know, say someone that stays just in one genre may not think about.
Well, the thing is a lot of times you find when you're playing on the road with a group or doing a certain style, just to keep myself refreshed musically, I was always in the van or in the tour bus listening to something completely different, like classical or Broadway show tunes or whatever, to give my brain a little bit different influence. And so a lot of the style that Second to Impact is doing is the same kind of stuff I was listening to a lot. I was in a lot of the same heavy metal bands. So now, you know, when we're goofing around, Tim will start playing a lick or something, and I just jump right in. We know all the same exact stuff, although I haven't really played a lot of it in bands.
Oh, right on.
But still look for you. He hits hard. He's a beast. It's really sick cover, dude.
Now, Alex, let me ask you, what were some of your influences, you know, early on that made you want to sing the way you do, and was there a certain group or a certain individual that made you want to be a metalhead?
Yeah, I do have about 6 metal plates in my head. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. Well, I started out as a drummer when I was 10 years old, and then when I was 12 years old, I started playing guitar. I've been playing guitar ever since. And what got me into metal, which got me into started me getting to guitar playing, was two things. Listening to my brother play Jimi Hendrix, and the very first time I heard King Diamond on 89.5 from WSOU, I was like, this is fucking it, man. I love metal. And it's just been downhill ever since. Then after that, I played some jazz ensembles for jazz guitar, and then I started singing opera professionally, sang at New York City Opera, Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, all that stuff shit, and then went back into metal singing and screaming, and I'm influenced by everything. I like everything. I like R&B solo, I like classical, metal. He likes everything. He likes some really bad stuff. I'll listen to the Silence Pieces of Delphonics, Bloody Waters. I'll listen to Morty Creedman, Megadeth. You know, whatever. Kanye West. See what I mean? That's very lost. Yeah. I like everything, man. If it sounds good, it's got some big chord changes that move me in some way, or lyrics that move me in some way, I'm in.
Now, let's see. You said, let's see, Tim, how about you? What were some of your early influences?
Well, stupid. I am a talkative and influenced my life. No, when I was 12 years old, I heard a Motley Crue song on the radio, went to the record store, and bought the first 3 albums with the only money that I had, and I was transfixed. Yeah, it wasn't for 3 years later that I picked up a guitar, but I heard that and I was like, holy shit, that was like everything. I didn't care about anything else in the world at all at that point. And then just before my 15th birthday, when I first picked up a guitar, I saw David Lee Roth and Steve Vai was playing with him. And I just started playing, and I looked over after I saw that show, and I have 2 choices, either be able to do that or burn this thing now. So I just really got into it, and I was one of those guys that had no life, play 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and then on Friday nights I go out with my friends in Reno and drink beer emulate kind of thing. And like you're talking about, other influences, that decade kind of took me away from rock because I didn't really like what was going on, and added things to my playing and my chops that, served me very well the last couple of years. Sometimes I think the bad thing is actually a good thing.
Yeah, the 90s was a lackluster decade for metal for sure. I mean, you had a few, bright spots like, of course, Pantera, and the death metal scene and the black metal scene kind of, rose up during that era as well. And, but yeah, I mean, grunge came in and pretty much screwed everything up.
Yeah, for a guy like me that was content on ripping off George Lynch as often as possible, it was a very bad time.
The funny thing, I joined the Army back in '96, and I was in Augusta, Georgia for AIT at Fort Gordon, and the first weekend I got a pass. I went to a music store, picked up a guitar. I mean, I was Jones, and I hadn't played a guitar in nearly 3 months, and I was about to die. I went to this place, and now this is in '97. And I don't even remember, I think it was an Ibanez I picked up, something, but I plugged in, I just wanted to fucking shred. And I started doing some arpeggios, sweep picking and stuff. And the guy that was, the salesman that was there was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I haven't heard anybody do that in years. And it's sad, I'm like, really? But all my buddies back home in Baton Rouge, do this shit. We all, shred's not dead as far as we're concerned. You still got Tony McAlpine and Yngwie, people still out there shredding. Satriani.
Yeah. In the last 10 years, it's been very good. It's really pretty much right. It almost might be the best time to be playing music now. Because, it's easier to, get by. You can access the entire world without having, a major label, keeping under their thumb and giving you none of the money. So it's actually a good time.
A lot of technical music, too. I mean, if you look at Animals as Leaders, look at Between the Buried and Me, those types of bands, they're really bringing a lot of, not just guitar solos back, but intricate rhythms and all timing. That's good. So that's good to see for sure.
Now, let me ask you, what kind of gear do you guys use? Let's start with, I guess let's start with Rich.
Rich the guitar or Rich the drummer?
Rich the guitar player.
Well, right now I'm using some 2002 Les Paul going through a legacy 100-watt head with a Marshall bottom.
Right on.
And getting a nice chunky sound out of that. I have a bunch of other guitars, vintage DC Richards, but Les Paul for this type is what we're doing now. Works the best. Especially with Tim's guitar, they don't sound the same, so there's a distinguished sound between the two of us.
Oh, right on. And Tim, how about you?
I alternate between my Ibanez JS model and a Carbon. I think it was a DC-120 that I had since I was 17 years old that I put George Lynch Screaming Demon pickups in it, and I run that through a Ibanez Super Screamer that I had hot rodded into a Marshall JBM, and the sound is freaking amazing.
Now, like I told you, I'm a guitar player myself. I used to not be very big on Jackson guitars. I used, anything I play, I used to love the Strat body guitars, and I had a Fender Squier that had a humbucker and lead position, 2 single coils, and I had the Floyd Rose Model 2 locking system on it, which I've hardly ever seen a Squier or a Strat, for that matter, that had that setup on it. I mean, it's very rare. And I just happened across this guitar and picked it up, and I think I paid $4, maybe a little over $4 for it. Excellent guitar. I used to play, my original guitar was a Kramer Striker 200 ST, if you remember those.
Oh, yeah.
The first one I bought was in '87, and that was my road bitch there. I beat that one to hell and back. But right now, I play on a Jackson X Warrior. I seen the body, and instantly fell in love. I love an X body guitar. Even the old Ibanez ones that they had, I don't remember what what brand, what type they were, but I remember they just had a X style body on it.
Like a nice too?
I think so.
Yeah.
And but I bought this X Warrior, man, and it really made me turn around on Jackson. What turned me off back in the day was, they got those jumbo fucking frets on there, man, and you slide up and down the neck. It was always like my fingers would get tied in knots just moving from one position to the next. You know what I mean? They had those jumbo, especially the old Charvels, those jumbo fucking frets. It was like playing on like railroad ties or something. But this X Warrior, man, they call it jumbo, but it's not really that jumbo. But it has a compound radius neck. I've got the Duncan Invaders in it, the Floyd Rose Model 2 locking whammy, and it plays fucking great. And I put that through a Spider 3 HD 150 Line 6 head. And, I used to not be very big on the solid state. It used to had to be tubes. And here recently, man, I just really got into where I really like the solid state heads. Just for the, how easy they are to work, and all your effects are built into it, for whatever effects you use.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have the same one, dude. I use HD 1550 or whatever. I have the same one. It's kind of like 250 presets, all kinds of stuff. Sick.
Okay, now,
speaking of Jacksons, have you ever played Jackson Kelly, the Marty Friedman model?
No, I haven't.
I had jumbo, and it's just weird that they come. Because he was a midget, and he couldn't play anything.
No, I never had the chance to play one of those.
Yeah, sick guitar, man.
Now, I've also got a Schecter C1 Diamond Series. It's called a Griffin, and they don't make them anymore. I think they switched it over to maybe a Hellraiser. But I really like that guitar too. It plays really nice. It don't have a whammy system on it, but it plays pretty sweet, man. I was very surprised with it. I actually won that one at a show, which is like the one time in my life that I won anything. And and free's the best price.
Oh, absolutely.
Now. Okay, Rich the drummer, what kind of drums do you use?
Currently I'm playing a DW kit. It was a custom kit. And when I play, either record or play out live, I use my snare drum is one that I hand built.
Oh, right on.
All my gear, primary gear, like I said, is DW and primarily a Zildjian player. I did a trip about 6 months ago to Turkey, and I went to a factory and visited Istanbul cymbals, and so now I use a lot of Istanbul stuff as well.
Oh, cool. Now, do you use a single kick or a dual kick?
Either one. Just for rehearsal space, I'm using a single kick with a double pedal, and when we play out live, I'll use probably at least 2.
And now, when you use the single kick, what kind of double pedals do you use?
Everything's DW. I currently use the 5000 series pedals. I'm looking at potentially switching over to Axis, if you're familiar with them. They have the really long footboards. I typically play live either barefoot, or lately I've been using those barefoot running shoes that people use.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because it gives you such a good feel, those Axis pedals are super long boards, and not to get into the geekiness of it, but it allows you to do certain playing with a certain technique that folks you can only get away with if you have really long footboards.
Now, have you ever had a chance to play on the Demon Drive pedals?
You're talking Pearl Demon Drive?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, those are nice. A lot of guys are using those, especially with a big wooden beater.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends that swear by those, and they play more, along death metal and fast music like that. And they rave about them because it's so easy. I mean, the direct drive on those they say that it glides.
Well, it is, and there's two different feels, and the reason I like DW is because you can adjust the cam. You can either do a direct drive feel or what they call the accelerator, because the cam is shape funny.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what kind of feel you like, but I'm a big believer in it's not necessarily. It doesn't really matter if you have technique. You can play on any of the gear, whether it's Pearl, DW, or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, I've got a couple friends. One of them used to use the Iron Cobras, and he swore by them for years. And but he switched over from playing more of your mainstream metal, and switched over to more of like a grind slam kind of band. And he switched over to the DW or the Pearls, and he absolutely loves them. And that's a question I always ask, because I want to get drummers' input on what they think about those. I'm not a drummer. I've played on them a couple times, and for me, being an idiot behind a set of drums, it made my feet go easy. But you barely even got to touch those things; they'll start moving.
Well, that's good. Maybe I need to get a set, because that description fits me perfect. Being an idiot behind a set of drums.
Now, guys, talk to me a little bit about the songwriting. What do you guys write about?
It varies. I mean, the subject matter is, we don't typically have a standard issue of relationship stuff. There's one song that has that stuff, but, it's pretty much everything. Certain songs, it's almost as if each song is a concept piece. I try to put myself in the mindset of a character. of a character I'm trying to create to make a point, or I'm feeling at the moment. I just let the words come out, and then, you trim things here and there to make it a show. It's no longer I wrote in a bathhouse. It's basically I wrote at Walmart. I'm just kidding. But, that's pretty much it, man. Some of the songs had lyrics on there before I came on board, but the stuff that I wrote is definitely a miniature concept piece on each one. How is this person seeing the world at that moment, that type of thing. It just so happens that as a result, one or two of them are kind of relationship-y, but oh well. I think for my album on iTunes, that's how the impact. I think the interesting one you need to find out the input on is our new female lead singer. What her thoughts are on being in this kind of thing, and especially with a bunch of freaky guys in the band, which doesn't want to walk in the corner. She's the busiest singer out there right now.
Now, with both singers, do you have what's the difference in the styles between the both vocalists?
Gavin is a lot more subtle than Alex. Yeah, not so loud. Yeah, she's got a much moodier voice, and he's Alex. He's like if you walk out from kicking the ball. I think he enjoys it. No, he even stays in the basement, man. I don't just like kicking the ball anymore. Over any left. Just right.
So
they actually work together, and everything just gelled together like it was meant to be.
Right on. Now, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. Can you say it one more time?
Bathroom? Bathroom with a D. It's like Daphne when somebody just spelled his left name on here.
So how is it being surrounded by all these guys?
I don't dance, though.
You keep them in check?
Most of my friends are guys. Most of the people I've ever been in bands with are guys. I don't see the issue. She's one of the guys. Yeah.
Right on.
calendar now. They thought he was being nice for taking their calendar down their hair salon, and I don't have to entertain a lot of and we before the seat down. What is that?
Now, you know, with more and more females, you know, it's becoming more predominant with females, you know, in a front person position. What are your thoughts on females in metal in general? You know, you got Angela Gossow singing Metallic Kitty with Decadence. Give me your thoughts on where you see, you know, like maybe 10 years from now with females in metal.
I think it'll just be kind of an even mix, you know, because if you don't like it, and you're like, Lacuna Coil's great, and even though they're kind of hard rock, they're borderline metal, I absolutely adore Hailstorm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works, so, you know, I don't give a shit. There's always been a bunch, there's always been Doro, and, you know. Yeah. I mean, you have In This Moment, you have Straight Line Stitch, those are a little bit more metalcore. As a guitar player, when you have a female singer, that means after the show, there's X amount of girls are going to be going for the singer. So if that's what you know what, don't ruin my bubble. There's a lot more metal, female metal singers, excuse me. No, female like that. Decades ago, and then I'll fuck ass. But now they're starting to come back, and I think that's a good thing. Kitty tried, you know, they can keep that. Not really a fan of them, but definitely they're out there. The numbers are growing, and it's good for the middle community.
You know, I tell you, myself, I like seeing, you know, more females, and I like seeing that it's opening up. You know, it used to be just a big boys club, and you'd have the occasional, you know, female vocalist here and there, but I like how it's opening up, and you're seeing, you know, more females for one, you know, on the stage, and two, that the dual vocals usually work very well also. I've seen a few bands that's got dual vocalists, and I think it's great. There are a lot of things you can do, especially if you're classically trained, harmonizing and things like that, which... I'm sorry?
A lot of black metal female singers are really good, too. A lot of those Swedish black metal bands and that kind of thing. Really good. It's kind of ironic. The sweetness.
Now, what do you guys think about, you know, the metal scene in general? I bring this up usually every interview, and I want to get your take on this. I've been noticing a trend, you know, especially with a lot of the younger bands out there. You know, like throughout the 90s, you guys know this as well as I do, how subgenred everything got. You know, I mean, it got ridiculous. And what I'm seeing now, especially with younger bands, and I'm very delighted to see this, that they pick and choose. You'll see a little bit of death, a little bit of black metal, you know, a little bit of each genre mixing in, and it's starting to come back under just one umbrella of metal. Are y'all seeing this as well?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, every show we play, it seems to have everybody's heavy, but there's one band that's kind of like a Sunset Strip glam band, which is always, you know, entertaining. And then there's another band that's like a death metal band, and a Megadeth band, and there's us, and there's, you know, there's always variations in every show we play. It's never the same style of band in any given show, but it's all heavy.
But you remember back in the day, you know, with Black Sabbath, Dio, early Ozzy, you know, one album from one of these artists could have one song that sounds like black metal, another one that may have elements of death, another one that has doom, another one that's straight ahead metal. And, you know, I'm really excited. I can't wait to see, you know, in another 5 years or so, how the metal scene matures into this. Because the more I see these young guys coming up, you know, I keep asking them, you know, what were some of your influences? Oh, old Ozzy or Black Sabbath, you know, and I love seeing these young bands go back to the roots and, you know, dig that up as influences for them, because that shows that, you know, the flag of metal will still keep flying.
Oh, I can't say how many times I've seen a 17-year-old kid wearing the exact same Iron Maiden Life After Death shirt they used to wear every single day. You know, they're digging back and finding it, you know?
It's really great, man, and I think part of the problem is that the metal community kind of does it to itself by dividing and subdividing and labeling every fucking band
You know, it's like you have metalcore, mathcore, grindcore, dudecore, death metal, black metal, emo metal. You know, I kicked myself into pink metal. Like, well, okay, you know, it's metal. I think if they just call it metal and stop fixating so much on this is my genre of metal and it's better than yours type of thing.
Yeah, that's...
And more and more things will mix together, and it just makes the music that much better. Ladies and gentlemen, John Carlin.
It's really, to me, it's just plastic posturing bullshit when you want to sit there and say, oh, I listen to math, grind, crunkcore, whatever the fuck you're listening to. At the end of every one of these genres is one word, and that is metal.
Yeah.
You know, be a fucking metalhead. Like it all.
Honestly, you know, no matter how you slice it, if you have 3 or 4 minutes of, you know, and it moves you in some way, then why do you have to call it anything? Just call it metal, and I love it, and that's it. Or if you have metal with no screaming, it's still metal.
Exactly.
If you have metal with drum tuning, if you have metal with standard tuning, it doesn't matter. I guess the only thing that sucks is, you know, we have generations where everybody's growing up with it, so there's less parents pissed off about it. And that was always so good for marketing.
Well, you know...
I would love to have a Baptist church somewhere. If Westboro Baptist is listening, protest it somewhere, right? And then find us on iTunes. iTunes.com, /seconds to impact. Beavernations.com, /seconds to impact.
You know, well, one of the things I always point out, too, is you remember back in the day when someone said they were hardcore punk. Hardcore back in the day, it sounded like punk. Now, you listen to modern hardcore today, what does it sound like? To me, it sounds like thrash.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I don't get, okay, I don't get why you're not calling it thrash because it sounds like it, but, you know, they want to stick a different name on it. You know, fuck labels. And that's basically what I get down to, is just fuck a label, it's metal, own it.
And it's really unnecessary. You know, if the music moves you in some way, it doesn't matter. Anyway, and that's what I have to say about that.
Right on.
There's always more, but you know, I know you're strapped for time.
Now, well, what's the response? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, the one time she does talk, he didn't want her to.
Now, what's the response been to Bring the Night On? Been pretty positive?
I don't know about that particular song because on just in ways that people get responses on the internet and radio, we tend to be pushing Revelation, Breakthrough, and Wake Up. You talking about the CD in general or that particular song, the title track?
Oh, just the whole CD.
It's kind of a love-hate relationship for some people. You know, some people, it's like they never did. You know, remember when Cleanpack first came out, people hated operatic vocals. They were like, you know, even though it was the most brilliant thing that ever existed. So you got some people that don't want to hear those kind of vocals that just don't like it, you know, and I can't control people being, you know, listen and stupid. But, you know, overall, yeah, stupid already. Fucking stupid. Overall, you know, the response we get, especially live, is very good, and we've got some great responses. You know, radio stations to play us, and you know that we get. It's very encouraging. Yeah, it's mostly positive. The live shows have had nothing but positive. Every single one. Every single one. The album itself is mostly positive. A couple of non-positive things, which is fine. You know, it's not for everybody. That's just the way this business is. Part of it goes to that same subdivision thing. People are used to hearing what they hear on the radio, and we don't necessarily fit that mold because we are who we are. So as a result, there's a mix of different styles in there. But once they give it a whirl and give us a chance, then it works out just fine. Even our bass player Joe, the first time he heard it, he liked it. Second time he heard it, he thought it was really good. By the time he came down and was learning the songs, he completely fell in love with it. You know, so, you know, it's one of the best albums are always the ones that grow on you. You know, I remember being like 15 and you buy an album, you thought it was okay, you listen to it, and it you love it, and the one that you love the first time you heard it, you end up throwing away 6 months later because you can't stand it. You know, so it grows on you.
Well, me personally, I don't understand why anyone would not like operatic vocals, because if you listen to Iron Maiden, you know, Bruce has a lot of that operatic style in his singing, as well as, Dio and some of, I mean, hell, look at Rob Halford. You know, I mean, they may not be operatically trained, but that vocal style, I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have metal today.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. If you hear any buzzing in the background, that's my phone queasing. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
On this side.
But I don't know, anybody that's going to naysay a band because of a vocal style or something like that needs to go to them fucking selves. That's what I think.
And it's okay, man. You know, people either like it or they don't, and that's fine. And I get the same thing all my heroes got. So to me, I think it's great. I think somebody knows he's just showing up. Hey, that's what you always said. That's what people said about all people that made me want to play in the first place, though. Thank you very fucking much. That's the point in general. You can't control the world. You can only control what's directly around you and the people you interact with. You know, that's the same thing with music, right? And what you see in your infrared self. You write what you write, and people are moved by it or they're not. Fortunately for us, most people are moved by it. And the ones who are not, either grows on them or they don't like it, and that's okay. You know, the biggest bands in the world have just as many people that hate them as people that love them. You know? But I do say this, that anybody who doesn't like the band or is questionable about whether they're on the fence whether they like it or not, come see the band live. And I guarantee you, your face will melt, and you'll want to run home to your computer to iTunes.com.
Well, I'll tell you, anytime you're doing something good and positive, and there's always going to be haters involved. And, from what I heard from you guys, I like what y'all are doing. I think it's great.
Thanks, man.
I think y'all have the right mix, and at least what I heard on the album, I mean, dude, if this doesn't explode, something's wrong with the fucking scene. And that's my honest opinion. Now, speaking of scenes, you guys, like we said, you hail from New Jersey. Is the scene rebuilding after Sandy? Is there places for you guys to play? I know y'all just got inundated with a shitload of snow.
Yeah, it's like Tim said, it's been tough for years. Hurricane Sandy certainly didn't fucking help. The economy certainly didn't fucking help. People were broke already, and then not having power for 3 weeks. Right before a couple of our shows certainly didn't help us. But as things rebound, it'll be fun. It'll be fine. As far as the seating and places to play, that's definitely significantly diminished over the past 10 years, for sure. I mean, you have St. Pat's, you have the Blue Room, which are great places. And they're great places, you have Starlight Ballroom, but you're lucky enough to get home and open up to somebody, and that's pretty much it, man. You have some local bars that'll have bands. And some of them don't even have a back line, so you have to lug everything there, which is, that's fine too. In summertime, there's some outside places that they build a stage, and you're never allowed enough. But, it's rock and roll. Rock and roll. It's part of the hustle.
That's it.
Part of being, to do what you do. No matter how much you're lifting your marshal, how bad your backers have to carry all the stuff from the van, or whenever you hit that door, it's all worth it.
But also, it doesn't matter the size of the venue, whether it's 25 people or 500 people or 1,000 people. I mean, I can tell you, in front of 25 people, if you walk off the stage and 2 or 3 people come up there and love you, that's worth more than a paycheck.
Well, that's the size of the venue, it's the emotion of the crowd. If one person fall in love with you, to play in front of 1,000 people, have enough care. After the year, you do that 20 times, and that's
Now, talking about gigs, tell me what was like the one gig that be what you would consider to be your best gig that stands out in your mind. What was the best gig you guys have played at to date?
It's the one next summer. I haven't seen that since right now. The most so far up to date, you'd probably be Big Bash in New Jersey. That was the one our buddy Paco Paz from Apostrophe was talking about the other day on the thread on Facebook.
Oh, right on.
Hey, Paco, I gave you a little, it's called the Sweatpants. Yeah, shout out to our brothers in Apostrophe, who are also on Reverb Nation and also on Facebook and all that good stuff. Buy them after you buy us. Yeah.
Now I had Deanna had posted up y'all's link. There she goes. I want to go ahead and let you guys out there in listener land know that are not in the chat room. You can find Seconds to Impact on Facebook.com/seconds-to-impact. You can also find them on ReverbNation.com/Seconds to Impact and SoundCloud.com/Seconds to Impact. So make sure you go check them out. You can find them on iTunes. Buy their CDs. Make sure that you support a starving artist, because ramen noodles and mac and cheese gets fucking old after a while. Right? Hey, I gotta throw the hooks out for you guys. Now, let's take a few questions from the chat room. Let's see what they have for us. Now,
if they go to ReverbNation.com, that funnels into everything. We have a Twitter account, we have a Facebook account, iTunes, everything is funneled there. So if they go to ReverbNation.com, everything is there, and it'll help us out with more ways to higher ranks and all that stuff. Which, by the way, we're ranked, I think, 13 in the whole tri-state area. We're ranked 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's very fucking cool. That's huge.
What questions you got for us?
Well, we're waiting to see what the chat room brings up. Sometimes we have a little bit of lag on the net, so give them just a few more seconds, and we'll see what they start popping up as far as questions. I know Deanna always has one that she's going to ask. I'm just waiting for her to pop it up. Well, maybe they're going to pop up questions.
We have to answer the formula questions?
Oh, you don't have to answer them.
I know, I questions. The only question we don't like is, have you been drinking tonight? Usually, sir, are you aware of how fast you were going? No? Yes, I was. Maybe I had to say question. Explain this test with you. You can answer stuff, you can come to it later if you want.
Okay. Here's a question for you guys. If you were able to play any stage in the world, what stage would it be? Wow.
Any stage in the world would it be? Any stage in the world, man, I think Red Rocks. Red Rocks Amphitheater, that stage is amazing. I saw Rush out there and out under the stars and whatnot. That's just an amazing venue. I like Madison Square Garden only because I saw a bunch of the Dragons there back in '91, so I'm a little biased. But the open festivals in Europe and stuff, and then the open festivals here in the States. Which, by the way, if anyone's listening who books that stuff, just saying. Personally, the BuddhaCon is a little bit bad about the BuddhaCon. Yeah, that'd be cool. I've seen a couple shows there and stuff.
Now, have y'all looked at going over to Europe?
Yeah, if they wanted, I go there every week. Yeah, I only go there every week. Just about.
I tell you, one place I always wanted to play was Wacken. That's a huge festival.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would love to play there. Absolutely. The Wagon Festival. I'd like to play at Dan. You know, Dan would be great. Just some sweet, fucking great musicians there.
Now, if y'all could play with one band, you know, the band of your choice, you know, past, present, or future, what band would that be?
Go with Cheese. Hailstorm. I mean, what number is having a problem thinking? No idea. That's really Killswitch Engage for me. I know this sounds a little bit different, but they're my favorite bands. With Jesse, with Howard, and now Jesse's back, and it's great.
My two choices would be Hailstorm and Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah. And Soundgarden and the two of them. I think for me, growing up being the drummer that everybody was influenced by, I'd probably be on the stage playing with Rush.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. He has very good for like films. Let me tell you.
Well, let's see. Still, no one's asking questions in the chat room.
Yep.
They must be all asleep or something. Let me ask you this. Usually in every band they have one. Who is the jokester of the band? Who's the practical joker?
I don't think we know each other well enough yet. I think, I'm always, I'm obnoxious and always have a comment, and I know it's only for anyone to take more, but there's usually humor involved.
I'm the quiet one, but I always have something going on.
Oh, yeah, he's the quiet one that chucks. I think we're still in that mode right now, since we got Daphne new in the band, and me, the drummer new in the band. We're all sort of like in that first month of dating, so to speak. We're being nice and not belching and farting in front of each other, but the practical joke is new. The practical joke is right. Yeah.
Now, have all of y'all been on the road yet?
That's when I did my Hollywood gigs. Not together. We've I think several before, yeah.
We're talking about, maybe doing some small mini tour, maybe this summer we can schedule, a week or two, and going down head south of here.
Well, whenever y'all get ready to go on that tour, definitely let us know, because we'll push it out for you guys. Definitely.
That's beautiful.
We try to be brutal. Now, which one of you is the grumpy one, the one that wakes up and is grouchy in the morning?
I'm always in decent mood. I'm not alone. Probably me, dude. I never wake up feeling refreshed, and if I'm really, really tired, I can get a little cranky, Even having up, I look at your hair, so it looks like you just woke up. Yeah, so I don't wake up dedicated to him. Wake up. Guess what website you can find that on?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I know what Vixen's gonna ask, so I'll go ahead and I'll ask it anyway, being that she's probably off in Facebook land somewhere right now. She's gonna ask, boxers, briefs, or commando?
Boxers. What is it? Boxers. My name's Alexander, and I wear boxers. Boxer briefs. Hybrid.
So, nobody's brave enough to let the boys free, huh?
Chicks kick me because I rarely wear underwear, and what I do is something unusual. It's like a jock strap. I wear a G-string or a thong, and I wear it backwards.
That way your nuts overlap the seam?
Yeah, he does wonders for the denim camel toe. Small visuals, it's not neat. That's like an upside down pepper. So when we play live, I wear Captain America's Speedos and a bow tie. It's a good one. It's
Oh, wow. Well, on that note, what are you guys' favorite superhero?
Myself, Wolverine.
I figured whoever was wearing the Captain America Speedo would probably like Captain America, right?
He's more of a Wonder Woman. No, I mean, you're talking superheroes. One of my biggest, not really superheroes, but influences right now is Hoist Gracie. I'm a big fan of his.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Hoist was the man back in the day.
Say again?
Said Hoist was the man back in the day.
Yeah, well, yeah, he still is. He wasn't the best of that family, but he's good. That's sort of a side project of mine I do on the side, compete in that sport.
You know, when he tried making that comeback, and hell, who was it he fought? Matt. Shit, I can't remember his name. It wasn't Matt Serra.
Oh, you're talking the country boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he tried coming back, and they fought, and Hoist ended up getting beat. And I just thought that was... I just thought it sucked. He was a legend.
Everybody learned their secrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like UFC before they regulated it. When I first started watching it, UFC 1 through probably 15, there were no fucking rules, man. You just go, and whoever gets knocked out first or starts tapping out, that's it. You can do all kinds of stuff. There was no time limit. You take these two guys in a fucking chokehold for half an hour, you know, and then now... I think you're confusing that with going up in Newark. No, that's different.
Yeah, the UFC's really... The UFC's really gotten watered down. I mean, you know, like you said, the early ones, I mean, that's where it was at. You had to be a man. You had to fight your way all the way up to the top rung. I mean, you fought, what, 3 or 4 times before you got up in that final fight.
Yeah, and they mix the fighters, you know? You have different style fighters. Now, everybody's MMA. And it almost became everybody's doing the same style, who's better. Whereas originally, you had somebody who's Chicohan Jiu-Jitsu versus somebody who's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You had boxers going against Greco-Roman wrestlers. You know, now, not so much.
Yeah, it's everybody's almost carbon copied. It's just, you know, who worked out more, I guess. Now, let's see. Let me try to refresh this page. Maybe I'm just not refreshing right here.
Where is not love? Everybody hates us. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Maybe that's right. Nobody listens to R&B? That's a classic.
Actually, Buffy here listens to R&B. Or actually, old Motown.
Yep.
Well, yeah, when it was R&B because there's no real about a blues in it now. That's older. That's older. That's older.
That's Tim what his favorite weapon is.
Huh?
That's Tim what his favorite weapon is.
Okay. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim. Buffy wants to ask, what's your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon?
Yeah.
I've always been fond of the Glock. My mom. If reality is not a barrier in this question, then absolutely a motherfucking lightsaber. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, or the Force, you know, so I can just show people. Or I just received a text saying that the chat box isn't working from somebody.
Now, you were talking about, you know, you got a Glock. What other kind of firearms do you have?
Well, because New Jersey is an anti-American state, it's just minimal these days. Back in Nevada, though, I carry a HK at work.
Yeah, personally, I have I got a Smith & Wesson Sigma Series 40. I also got an AK-47, and I pray they try to come take that out of my cold dead hands. Really.
If you get a chance to see the government agent, please let me know. I'll help.
Now the bad thing is it's not so hard finding firearms anymore. It's hard trying to find rounds. I mean, you go to any gun shop and they're usually sold out of ammunition.
Because you don't live near Pennsylvania, man. So that's why a lot of people back home are using reloaders now.
Let's see. Now, guess we'll go ahead and wrap this one on up. Been about an hour now. Any shout outs you guys want to do?
Just go back to Paco and the Fox fees because they've helped us out. Those boys helped us out a lot. I definitely want to give a shout out to Paco Paz and the Fox fees. I want to give a shout out to Maria Moore from the Rat radio station, Alley Cat from the 89.5 of the SOU. Joe Longo from the BAH Underground Radio Station in Pennsylvania that plays us. Yes, he's very good at us. Shout out to Deanna, shout out to Bucky. Shout out to Tim McMurtry from the Blue Room, and I think that he's treated us very well. Hey, he's also with Murder League All Stars, so shout out to him.
Well, I want to thank it. I'd like to thank everybody that showed up in the chat room. Rich, Chris, Vixen, we had Buddy Cat, Jack from Creepshow Mofo, and all the listeners we got that's on the outside that's tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. But and I specifically want to thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Bob.
And like I said, when you guys get ready to head out on tour, definitely hit us up. I'll bring y'all back on the show and we'll promote it and get the word out, get the hype up, and get y'all ready to roll.
All right, sounds good. We'll be there to visit you.
Now, stay on the phone just for a second. And metalheads out there, this has been the Bullshit with Bob show right here on Brutiful Metal Radio. We've been talking to the guys and gal from Seconds to Impact, and I've got 3 songs that we're going to play. I got Revelation Breakthrough, Wake Up, and Cleo. So stick around, metalheads. I've got a lot of metal coming your way all night long right here on Brutiful Metal Radio, bitches.